sincere pleasure to call this evening's proceedings to order. His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Honorable Vikram Bharat, Minister of Natural Resources, distinguished members of Cabinet, members of the Diplomatic Corps, heads of international and regional organizations, officials of the Ministry of Natural Resources, the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, and the Guyana Gold Board, representatives of private sector bodies and the business community, members of the media, good evening. My name is Kiana Wilberg, and I am pleased to serve as your Master of Ceremonies this evening. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to the launch of Guyana's national brand for gold and jewelry products, along with the unveiling of the 60th Independence Anniversary Commemorative Gold Medallion. For centuries, El Dorado has endured as one of the world's most powerful legends, a promise of immeasurable gold, grandeur, and power. Explorers, adventurers, and colonizers crossed continents in pursuit of it, drawn by the idea of a golden realm whose wealth seemed beyond imagination. But this evening, just days away from Guyana's 60th independence anniversary, we are not here to chase a myth. We are here to reclaim a story, one rooted in the legacy of our gold industry that spans more than 150 years. Across generations, Guyana's history with gold has sustained livelihoods, built enterprises, and helped shape our economic identity. Tonight, under the vision and direction of His Excellency, President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, we mark the next chapter of our incredible story with gold. A chapter that takes Guyana from raw material to refined beauty, from natural resource to national brand. This, ladies and gentlemen, is El Dorado reimagined. Please put your hands together and join me in marking this historic occasion. Our first speaker for tonight is Mr. Viad Prasad, Vice Chairman of the Guyana Jewelers Association. I'd invite him now to make brief remarks.
His Excellency, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, government ministers, members of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow Guyanese, and my colleagues in the jewelry industry, good evening. On the 26th of May, Guyana celebrates 60 years of independence, a diamond jubilee that honors not only our sovereignty and resilience, but also the industries that help shape our national identity. In the decades following independence, gold emerged as one of the pillars of Guyana's economy, driving employment, trade, and development across the country. By the 2000s, gold mining contributed as much as 9% of Guyana's GDP and nearly half of the nation's total exports. From this foundation, almost 2 generations now of Guyanese craftsmen and artisans rose to prominence, transforming raw gold into symbols of culture, identity, and pride. From bold handcrafted bangles and intricate filigree work to distinctive nugget and hammered gold designs, Guyanese jewelry has developed a style that is uniquely its own and recognized internationally. In Guyana, jewelry making is one of the few traditional crafts that remains fully monetized today, sustaining both livelihoods and legacy. As we celebrate our Diamond Jubilee, we honor not only our history, but the brilliance forged by the Guyanese hands that continue to define us today. This evening provides an important platform for Guyanese jewelers to showcase their talent, creativity, and craftsmanship at a national initiative at this magnitude. The Guyana Jewelers Association is proud to partner in this historic launch, and to support the continued development of a stronger, more structured, and internationally competitive jewelry sector. We are particularly emboldened by the visionary leadership of His Excellency, whose commitment to sustainable development and economic modernization is ensuring that Guyana's treasures, both mineral and the human, shine brighter on the global stage than ever before. As we look toward the future, let us continue to polish our national character with the same precision we apply to our craft. May the spirit of our independence live on for generations to come. Happy 60th, Guyana. Thank you.
Excellency, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, the Minister of Natural Resources, Honorable Vikram Bharat, Senior Ministers, members of the Diplomatic Corps, all representatives of government ministries and agencies, special invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me, on behalf of the Guyana Gold and Diamond Miners Association, to join you tonight at this auspicious event. As a nation, we are days away from celebrating 60 years since we have broken free from colonial rule and became a sovereign state, with the right to chart our own course as nation builders. Nation building, like gold mining, requires starting from scratch, venturing into unfamiliar and hostile territory with no guarantees of success, requiring tremendous faith and hard work before any tangible progress is realized. Nation builders, like gold miners, must dig through layers of history, colonial legacy, and divisive loyalties to reach the gravel that will yield something stable, unifying, and valuable underneath. As with building a gold mine, the same too with building a nation, the task is one fraught with perils and setbacks, with success requiring long time horizons and perseverance, deliberate actions with no reliance on serendipity, through collective effort and employing the right tools to achieve the desired results. Given the stunning similarities between nation building and gold mining, it is very fitting that a Guyanese minted medallion of 99% pure Guyanese gold was chosen to commemorate our Diamond Jubilee. I cannot think of a better symbol to embody the resilience of our nation through the past decades and to serve as a lodestone for future success. The minting of these medallions in Guyana is also a historic event, marking the first time bullion quality gold has ever been refined on our shores. This event heralds a tectonic paradigm shift in the manner in which we offer our gold to the world. Such an evolution in this gold sector marks Guyana's transition from a supply of raw materials into a purveyor of value-added investment-grade metals. Over the years, throughout the Caribbean and North America, Guyana's gold has gained a reputation for its quality, high quality and pristine. The most sought-after gold, not just to be utilized in the creation of exquisite jewelry, but also to hold as a store of value. With the introduction of this one-of-a-kind, limited edition creation, Guyanese gold enthusiasts can own a piece of Guyana's gold, medallions struck with symbols of national pride to be passed on as heirlooms, thereby creating a next generation of enthusiasts who will possess pieces that, many, many years from now, will maintain their irrefutable traceability to our nation. Tonight, we also celebrate the launching of Guyana's national gold and jewelry brand. When we reflect on the cricket band and other pieces of iconic designs birthed in Guyana at the hands of our skilled artisans, who have built on the traditions and legacies of their forefathers, the branding of Guyanese jewelry is a warranted endeavor that is long overdue. Officially linking the provenance of the jewelry manufactured in Guyana will allow our artisans to further benefit from the authenticity and cultural heritage associated with these unique creations. Our government must be applauded for these excellent initiatives. It is testament to His Excellency's vision of ensuring that while Guyana continues to benefit from the boom in our oil and natural gas sector, we must continue to develop all the natural resources that we have been blessed with, ensuring a lasting, diversified economy, not over-dependent on one commodity or sector. I wish to once more express my extreme delight to have been afforded the opportunity to give some remarks at this monumental event. As we celebrate our 60th year of independence, let's be grateful for the struggles and the triumphs that have tested and fortified us as a nation, so that, like gold, we become indestructible and last for an eternity. Thank you.
Thank you, Guyana. His Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Ministers of Government, members of the diplomatic community in Guyana, members of the Jewellery Association and the jewelry sector, members of the Guyana Gold and Diamond Miners Association, members of the Guyana Gold Board, GGMC, staff of the Ministry of Natural Resources, special invitees, members of the private sector, good evening, and thank you for being here as tonight we commemorate our 60th independence anniversary in fine style by the launching of this medallion tonight, a 1-ounce pure gold medallion, which will be for sale tonight. The launching of this medallion tonight is not only a showcase of Guyana's goal of craftsmanship, but it is also a demonstration of the President Ali's led administration commitment to growing the non-oil sector, or continuing to incentivize and expand the traditional productive sectors. And you would have heard just a few moments ago from Andron the importance of continuing to grow the traditional sectors and not to focus only on oil and gas, for which we are known a lot today for. And as President Ali will say, Guyana is not an oil and gas economy. Oil and gas is just a means to where we want to get. And continuing to grow the gold sector, which employs directly and indirectly almost 30,000 Guyanese. It is important and also imperative that as a government we continue to work with miners, that we continue to work with jewelers, so that we build this brand. So tonight, yes, we unveil this beautiful medallion, but it is also the launch or the rebranding of a product that we want Guyana to be known for. For too long, as a country, we have exported our primary products, and we have been tasked by the President to ensure that we add value to our products. Because when we add value to our products, we realize opportunities for our private sector, we create employment, direct and indirect employment for our people, and we realize the true benefits of our resources. For too long, we have exported our primary products. And that is the reason why today we are so proud to be launching this particular coin. Gold mined in Guyana, gold refined in Guyana, and this coin specially minted by Guyanese jewelers, Guyanese craftsmen, showing off our talent and our skill. So it is also the launch or the rebranding of a brand that we would like to be known globally, the El Dorado Reimagined brand. So when we talk of Guyana and when we hear of Guyana, not only oil and gas should come to mind, or forests, which is a blessing, should come to mind, but also gold and jewelry should come to mind as well. The President's vision and the task given by us is to sell and promote this brand, that every single person entering this country would want to take back a piece of Guyana with them in the form of a fine piece of gold jewelry made by local talent. And the Jewellery Association and the Jewelers of Guyana, I think they must be commended for the work that they have been doing over the years. Sometimes we don't recognize the work they do as much as we should. But there are many people in the jewelry sector who have spent decades growing the sector to where it is today. And today, President Ali will tell you in his government, you have a partner. You have a partner that will help you to grow this sector. You have a partner that will help you to promote this sector globally so that the Eldorado Reimagined brand can be known globally, especially at a time when Guyana is gaining global prominence. So tonight we are very proud as the ministry, as the agency, and as a country that we are at this stage where we can say we have a client that was melted or smelted and minted in Guyana. There were many before, but it was not done locally in Guyana. So I want on behalf of myself to thank the Permanent Secretary and the staff of the Ministry of Natural Resources, Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, the Guyana Gold Board. They have worked hard to put together this event and to be where we are tonight. And I want to particularly thank Mr. Dominic Gaskin for the work that he has been doing with us. He has been doing a lot of work with us over the last few years in bringing together not only this event, but this brand that we would like to sell to the world. And those of you who know Mr. Gaskin and worked with him before will know that there is a great sense of pride and passion when it comes to the jewelry sector in Guyana. There's a great sense of pride that he takes in the work that he does in the jewelry sector. I wish to also thank our partners, the jewelry sector. We have recently resuscitated the Guyana Jewelry Association. I want to thank the members for their hard work in getting us this far, but we do look forward to working with you over the next few years in growing this brand and growing the jewelry sector of Guyana. Finally, I want to thank His Excellency for the vision, for the direction, so that we can be here this evening. You have seen how impatient President Ali is when it comes to development and when it comes to things happening in this country. And at that same pace, we have been working to ensure that we are here this evening to unveil this beautiful, locally minted kind. Thank you very much and good evening.
Guyana's relationship with gold is not a myth. For more than 150 years, gold mining, goldsmithing, and jewelry craftsmanship have shaped livelihoods, communities, and national identity. From the resilience of the pork knocker to generations of skilled jewelers, Guyana has long understood the value of gold. For generations, most of our gold left our shores in its raw form, while its greatest value was realized elsewhere. Today, Guyana is redefining that story. No longer simply exporting raw materials, we are repositioning ourselves to transform our natural resources into world-class products and global luxury brands. From refining and jewelry manufacturing to coin minting, trading, and global marketing, we are building a complete gold ecosystem. This transformation brings structure, standards, and trust, creating a modern competitive industry for the world. At the heart of this evolution is a bold ambition to transform Guyana's gold from a commodity into a recognizable brand. This is a symbol of our craftsmanship, heritage, and national pride, positioning Guyana as the gold capital of the region.
try to prove the doctrine.
So here we are, under the stars, dreaming of this Eldorado's gold. And truth be told, there's a fire in my soul, one that burns so bright it cannot be controlled. Welcome to this place that I call home, El Dorado, where the sun kisses your soul. El Dorado, a place of natural beauty, from sea to shining sea, the myth's been told. This is El Dorado's gold. But legend spoke of a hidden place where fortune lies and explorers chase. But what we found, though this might be true, the greatest treasure in El Dorado is me and you. El Dorado, where the sun kisses your soul. El Dorado, a place of natural beauty, from sea to shining sea, the myth's been told. This is El Dorado's gold. The pride and the principles, so dear we each do hold, has molded great character that's worth its weight in gold. So let's strive to guard this hidden treasure the world is yet to see. Welcome to this place that I call home, El Dorado, where the sun kisses your soul. El Dorado, a place of natural beauty, from sea to shining sea, the myth's been told. This is El Dorado's gold. The myth's been told. This is El Dorado's gold. The myth's been told. This is El Dorado's gold.
Only as a nation of extraordinary resources, but one capable of transforming those resources into enduring value, identity, and global distinction. The launch of Guyana's national brand for gold and jewelry products, along with the imminent unveiling of the 60th Independence Anniversary Commemorative Gold Medallion, is a direct expression of his belief that our resources must do more than generate wealth. They must tell our story, strengthen our enterprise, and project Guyana with the pride it deserves. Please join me in welcoming His Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfan.
Thank you very much, Guyana. I don't know why they would do all of you such an injustice to bring me after Calvin. I think we could have all ended happily after Calvin. But you will have to bear with me. First of all, allow me to welcome all our dignitaries. I see many members of our diplomatic community, high commissioners, ambassadors, and other members of the diplomatic staff. I see many members of the cabinet, all the hardworking men and women of our jewelry industry, our gold industry, the Ministry of Natural Resources, from the private sector, and importantly, our miners also. I also want to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Gaskin, who has been pouring his energy into the development of this value-added creation, but more importantly, all of us working together to position this brand, Eldorado Reimagined, as the world's most prestigious brand. That is our job. Every one of us, from henceforth, we have one duty: to position this brand. And everyone who will be associated with this brand, our extraordinary jewelers who have stood the test of time, through the good and bad times, through every aspect of our independent history. I want to applaud you, and I ask everyone in this room to give them a resounding round of applause. And that is why I'm saying, in their honor and this brand, everyone who wishes to be associated with this brand must adhere to the shared value of the brand, the sheer quality of the brand, and must be willing to adopt the highest international standards and certification. That is the only way you will be part of this brand. That is non-negotiable. And we are not only going to develop this brand within the borders of Guyana. We're going to market this brand as a defining brand in celebrating history in every corner of the earth. Whether it's historical events or anniversaries like ours, we'll be positioning ourselves to present designs and also craftsmanship in this brand to meet those global events and historical milestones. This is a way in which we are hoping to spread this brand and eventually to work with our embassies that we're establishing in high-value markets to have a duty-free area where brand Eldorado can be sold throughout the world. That is our thinking. That is where we want to be. We want everyone passing through the duty-free to have different variation of value in the brand that they can take back with them. So I have to thank all of you who have worked relentlessly hard in ensuring we are here today. Of course, thank the subject minister and his team for ensuring that the timelines were kept and we were able to achieve this historic milestone. The medallion. I invite you all to imagine for a moment, what if the soil beneath your feet, the creeks of our interior, the ancient veins of our green heartland, what if they could speak? What would they say? They would tell you a story older than colony, older than flag, older than even memory. They would whisper, gold has always lived here, and gold has always been ours. They would also tell you that gold mining in Guyana is not a new romance. It is more than a 150-year-old marriage. The first discovery was announced in 1863 along the Cuyuna River. For years, Production was sporadic, like a heartbeat, they wouldn't settle. But then came the 1890s, and with it, gold fever. The decade from 1893 to 1903 became our golden age. Literally, most production came with individuals and small groups working with little more than hope and a pan. Not everyone struck it rich, but some did, and this led to continued prospecting. Soon, the entrepreneurs arrived. They introduced quartz mining in 1890, hydraulics in 1902, dredging in 1906, and with each new machine, production intensified. Given this rich heritage of gold mining, as we stand on the threshold of our 60th independence anniversary, it is not only fitting that gold should glitter in the spotlight, but tonight, it is not doing so as a raw product extracted from our soil and shipped away. It is doing so as a finished masterpiece here in our independence, in our story. For decades, Guyana has done what so many resource-rich nations have done. We dug, we washed, we poured, and we waved goodbye. Ton after ton of primary gold, glorious, heavy, and unformed, left our shores, and with it, jobs, skills, and billions in unrealized value. We exported the treasure. And while gold brought us considerable foreign exchange earnings, in 2024, gold export receipts amounted to US $990 million. But the reality is that there is money to be made, jobs to be created, and a whole new industry to be fashioned by moving gold production higher up the value chain. I've spoken before about the need for us to be moved into refined gold products. I've thrown out the challenge for us to complement primary gold production by producing gold products, including gold jewelry. I've demanded that we climb the value chain, that we stop acting like a colony of extraction and start acting like a nation of creation. But let's be honest with ourselves. Moving up the value chain is not nearly enough. Because when it comes to gold, like rum, the world does not reward effort. It rewards distinction. But we have an incentive to achieve distinction. Let me paint you a picture of the prize. The global jewelry industry is valued at approximately 380 to 400 billion US dollars annually, making it one of the largest segments of the global luxury goods market. Gold jewelry accounts for about 55% of total jewelry demand worldwide, while rings represent the single largest category at roughly 34% of sales. Asia Pacific, led by India and China, dominates global consumption with nearly 60% of all demand. Jewelry also represents an estimated 20 to 25% of global luxury spending and remains the largest source of gold demand internationally, with the industry projected to grow steadily over the next decade. You'll have heard me saying earlier that the largest segment of the market is consumed by Asians, Asia Pacific, India, and China. You know the size of the diaspora of India and China, 5 to 7 hours away from us. Whether it's London, New York, Miami, or Toronto. That is a captive market that is closer to us than their homeland. That is a market that is available. So I ask you, and I ask myself, and I ask every doubter in this room, why in the name of all that is sovereign, why in the name of all that is sovereign, should we remain satisfied with being primary producers? Why? Why should a miner in Madhya receive only a fraction of the final value? My position, no, not anymore. Today I said at the press conference, when asked a question about the large miners flipping companies on the international market, I said that's a function of the global market. They come, they explore, they find the value, they create the companies with the wealth, and they convince the market. But we are now in a position where we can do our own mineral mapping, where we can invest in knowing where the resources are, and then bring our industry together, bring everyone together to benefit from the data that we can have, creating our own multinationals. But I said then, today, the headlines are large miners flip billions of dollars in company value. Guyana and the government of Guyana allows this. That's okay. When we flip the coin and we do the mineral mapping and Guyanese get the opportunity, I can see the headline. Friends get blocks. In the seat I sit, you never win. Trust me. But you always go home satisfied, knowing that you're giving it your best shot. And one day, hopefully one day, someone will rise and remember where the journey took a turn. So I say, building a gold sector that goes beyond mining means understanding that the greatest value is not in the ground. It is in imagination. Moving production up the value chain means refining here, designing here, hallmarking here, marketing here, and exporting the finished glory, not raw potential. Exporting the finished glory, not raw potential. But if we want our value-added goal to be globally competitive, we cannot only make pretty things. We must build something far more powerful. We must build a globally recognizable brand. And that brand must speak of three things. First, the brand must reflect the uncompromising quality and authenticity of our goal. Second, the brand must represent the superiority of our craftsmanship. And third, the brand must tell our story, the Guyana story. Because when someone buys a ring that is branded with the Guyana National Gold and Jewellery brand, they're buying more than jewelry. They're buying the roar of Kaichor, the patience of the Rupununi, the steel of the cane cutters, the grit of our bauxite workers, the gamble of the gold miner. Yes, the gamble of the gold miner. They're buying the resilience of a people who for 60 years have taken every hit and still stood up swinging. That is our brand. That is our edge. And no one can counterfeit people's soul. To truly position ourselves as a global player in finished gold products, we need a brand that commands respect. We need a brand that says, this is on Guyana's gold. This is heritage. And this is why the Guyana National Gold and Jewelry brand has been created. It has been created to kickstart the process of us becoming a global player in the luxury industry. But let no one delude themselves into belief that overnight we can become a global player. No, that takes time. It takes planning, preparation, networking, trust, partnership. How do we start to prepare? We've already started the process of preparing. Building relationship, understanding which markets, working with those markets, and positioning ourselves in those markets. We must invest in education and apprenticeships. No world-class jewelry hub was ever built without master craftspeople. Put our hands together for all our craft men and women. We will partner with international design schools and bring those skills home. We must build refineries, labs, minting presses, and allow small producers to compete. In this year's budget, we remove the VAT. We have to sit with you to see where else. Where else? We must establish strict certification and traceability. The gold must be authentic Guyanese gold. It must be ethically mined and nationally refined. We must give them Medallion that is the greenest ounce of gold they will ever own. That by itself is added value. We must unleash the creative capital of our goldsmiths and craftsmen. We must encourage jewelry designing. We must support small craftsmen. And we must market brand not as a budget option, but as a treasure, rare, rooted, and real. We have begun this process. It will take time, but the work and the planning and the positioning have already commenced. Today, we make a small step in the right direction. Today, we are unveiling the 60th Independence Anniversary Commemorative Medallion, produced using 100% Guyanese gold, refined in Guyana, minted in Guyana. Let me repeat that, because history is being written in this room. Mined in Guyana by Guyanese hands from Guyanese soil. Refined in Guyana, in a Guyanese facility to international standards. Minted in Guyana, struck with Guyanese precision for a Guyanese milestone. This commemorative medallion marks Guyana's 60th year of independence. But more than that, it celebrates both national identity and national transformation. It is a mirror reflecting how far we have come over the past 60 years since independence. And it is a window into the future we are building, one where raw gold becomes raw power, and raw power becomes polished pride. I thank all those who are responsible once again for designing and making this wonderful medallion that celebrates our 60th independence anniversary. I thank all those involved in creating the Guyana National Gold and Jewelry brand. When a nation turns a corner in a story, when it commemorates a hard-won and defining milestone, That memory must become eternal. A medallion for our 60th reminds us of what happened on May the 26th, 1966. Was what many of our forebearers dared to dream of, but never lived to see. While I'm sure this particular medallion will be a collector's item, its symbolic importance goes much deeper to the type of country we are fashioning, one in which we are constantly seeking to ensure greater value is derived from our natural asset. So let this medallion be more than gilded metal. Let it become representative of the nation we are daring to build, one where every resource lifted from our soil is refined, and where true prosperity is measured not by what we extract, but by the skill with which we transform it. Happy 60th Independence, Guyana. I thank you, God bless all of you, and God continue to bless this industry.
Welcome to this place where I call home, where the sun kisses your soul.
Buy one, they want to buy one. Somebody need to tell them how to start buying one.
This is a special presentation of the real medallion, one of 500 of the limited edition.
It's also in Guyana wood, so still we have